Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Misty Crypto, spreading crypto without you showing its benefits. So to my generation, shout out to all my people. Jesse needs to be included, it's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z. About to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Misty Crypto, I'm never backing down. I got a wax account, you should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started. Yeah, I'm barely off the ground. Misty Crypto, you cannot stop me. My hands are made from diamonds, your hands fall like origami. Never be the boss of me. Bitcoin's all I need. When I say I'm zesty, that's just me talking honestly. Crypto and yum bomb marketplace. I wanna see the more we gotta go through cyberspace. Leave this world without a trace. Stay faithful a different day, cause we partners in the cryptos didn't stay.
What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. And yes, I said Friday because it's the end of the week. We've worked hard to get to this point where we can now sit back, relax, talk crypto, and chill out and have those good vibes. As always, before we jump into the show, make sure if you are new to the channel especially, you like, you subscribe, and you share the stream out with friends so they could join in and have the good vibes that we're having right now. If you're in the chat, what's up, friends? It's so nice to see you. A lot of you hung out with me last night while I was streaming Supremacy. That was mad fun. As always, before we jump in, gonna thank a sponsor. We have Wax Blockchain, absolutely killing the game. Much love to them. I want to just jump in straight into our beautiful, unique, the one and only Tom Crown Crypto. Welcome to the show. How are you, friend?
Thank you for that. I'm blushing.
Oh.
No one's ever called me beautiful.
You are beautiful, Tom.
Thank you. That's very polite of you. I appreciate you. It's good to be here. Happy Friday, everybody. I thought it was Saturday. So I guess the good news is we have another day of the weekend, right?
For Tom, yeah. Tom has the Saturday energy, and I can tell because you're very relaxed. You're just like kind of ready for this and just chilling out, which I respect. I mean, has this week been a good week for you? Like, I know there's been a lot of drama this week.
Yeah. Well, just so everyone else knows, we text all the time. So she already knows the answer to this. I was hype as anything all week because the Ethereum merge. And it's like, we had so much, we've had like a year of pain, right? And it's been rough. It's been rough. And the Ethereum merge came and nothing happened. And it was such like an empty feeling for me. I was like kind of down. Not down because price was down, just like the kind of the perspective or comparing like how hype I was. And the next day I was like, there's no hype and I miss my hype. So it's been kind of a roller coaster of a week. Nothing has actually happened. But I was so hyped and then it was so boring and I was bummed. But today I'm feeling a lot better. Not really bummed today. I think I just need like a day of detoxing from the hype. And we're back to normalcy, I guess. So I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm happy to be here. Happy to see you. You always bring my energy up.
No, you're awesome, man. You always bring my vibe up too. I feel like we just like up vibe each other, to be honest. And this week has been a little weird. I mean, I think with the ETH merge especially, people were really like, oh, like Bitcoin, ETH is gonna pimp, or it's gonna dump really hard, and it was anticlimactic in a lot of ways, but actually, I think that was actually really good that it wasn't a big drama, just because it shows that ETH could somewhat hold, even though it did drop a little bit afterwards. But that was like 12 hours after we saw a little bit of a dip. But besides that, I think it was good that the ETH merge went perfectly. It went smoothly, like it went easier than my iOS 16 update. So.
Yeah, for real. I have been, for a long time, we've talked about the merge and. Years. It's kind of just been that it's coming. And to see it deployed and to my knowledge, there's been no real issues is a really big accomplishment. I'm not going to lie that. I'm surprised. You're normally in crypto, things are a little bit more fumbly when they roll up. And so far, I think nothing. I haven't heard any real like serious bugs or serious errors. Like of course, there are two at least competing proof of work chains still. It's like FW, and there's some rogue one that's like only on one random exchange I've never heard of. It's like FF or something.
FF.
And yeah, it's even hard to say. So I don't bet on that one.
I mean,
FF.
is it ETHW even tradable yet? I don't even think it was.
Yes, it is tradable. So they actually, as exchanges do, they traded it before it existed as like a future contract.
I saw that.
I don't actually know if there's spot, which is a really weird concept. Like now that it exists, like I would guess there is, but I know that at least FTX is trading it, and it's not doing so hot right now.
Wow.
I think it went as high as $30 like yesterday, and now I think it's at like $8. So
didn't it go up to 51 at one point? I think it was like 50.
So it might have, because like of course like swaps and stuff were trading it, and like, you know, kind of low volume exchanges maybe picked it up, and like we're trading it again before it existed. So it might have kind of wicked around, but that's like, it's not real almost, because the volume was so low.
Who's like who's really who's really trading ETHW right now?
Well, like looks like people kind of, as I put out a video before the merge, I was like, watch this video, and I didn't hear anyone talk about it on YouTube, which blew my mind. Was like, we're gonna get forks, we're gonna get kind of like random competing coins that are going to emerge, and like my plan is to sell them. Of course, I saw the price of them, and I was like, I'm not even gonna move. Like, you know, like at $10 per Ethereum I would put like, what is that? Ethereum's at still at like 1,400. That's like not even 1% of like, I don't know. I didn't even get off my butt to do it. But I did move my Ethereum off exchanges for that reason. I took my own advice.
I always take your keys. Always take your ETH off the exchanges. Take everything off the exchanges.
Yeah, right. Always.
Damn. And that's something I could say confidently, because, oh my gosh, I don't know, especially in the bear market, I've seen exchanges really switch up their withdrawal times. Like, a lot of exchanges, you used to be able to just solidly, like, take off your crypto, no problem, just go straight to your wallet. Now, and then it's went to, oh, you need this many confirmations before, and then it went to, oh, now like we're gonna let it go in 48 hours or a few days. Like, what does that even mean, dude? Like,
some of it's security, some of it is like good, like white listing addresses, like having a delay. It's annoying, but it's good in the sense of, you know, if your account's compromised, that person has to add an address and then wait 24 hours. So like that, it can be a security feature. But then they're also with like Ethereum Classic, good luck ever getting Ethereum Classic onto like Coinbase, because it takes 1 billion confirmations, and that's because their hash rate has been so low. They've had 51% attacks, and so that's like a caution on their side, so that they don't have a double spend or like a kind of like a 51% attack, and end up with a bunch of losses. So it's a mix of like security and a mix of kind of just fundamental, I guess, like fundamental issues with Ethereum Classic's kind of history of being reorganized.
Yeah, you know,
it's going to be interesting. GPUs are probably on sale. I didn't look at the prices today, but I would imagine there's going to be some fire sales here.
Yeah,
because it doesn't really seem like any of the GPU mineable chains are doing that great. People were speculating that, you know, Ethereum Classic would take off or something, but they haven't really moved yet.
Yeah, like everyone was like, oh, ETH Classic. And then people were saying that a lot of the miners were going to go start mining ETH Classic, which made me think, oh, is this like a time for someone to go do another 51% attack on ETH Classic, since there's so many people piling into it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually interesting.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Something is, think about this. Like, if, you know, miners aren't mining FW, and if they're just kind of idling their cards, or maybe preparing to, like, I don't know, get out of the GPU mining. Yeah, that does actually mean there's a lot of open GPU hash power, like that could be used to 51% attack different chains. I don't know if we've seen that yet. I don't know why you would do it. 51% attacks in general are pretty dumb.
It's a lot. It's very expensive.
It's hard to make profitable, I think, unless like some chains get really overvalued. I think It's hard. It's hard. And that's why Coinbase requires so many confirmations for Ethereum Classic. Like you would have to not only 51% attack it, you'd have to hold that for like weeks. I don't know. I'm making these numbers up, but like a very long time for that confirmation to go through. And then like, yeah, it's a possibility though. It's interesting. I didn't think about that, is that there's a lot of hash power that's kind of up in the air right now. And maybe it gets turned into video gaming. It gets turned into video game hash power.
Listen, I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, a lot of people are just, I don't know what they're doing. These ETH miners, I feel bad for them. They're like, everyone's kind of lost right now. But
yeah, for real.
I mean, but
they knew. It's not like it was a surprise. But that was my first thing that I said, is like, man, that's like a lot of people have invested a lot of money into setting up these rigs. And
yeah,
this is definitely a slap in the face. Like this is pissing off people. Like, because miners, despite what people think, miners don't like get to mine and keep all their coins. Like they are basically how coins are distributed.
Exactly.
So they have to sell them because they have to pay the electric bill. People they don't get how big an electric bill that they have. It is not like, oh, your bill's up a little bit. It's like, if you run a few cards and you're overclocking them, your bill will be like thousands of dollars a month. Like this isn't some, little increase. It's like they don't have the coins. Like they don't have huge stashes because they've been forced to sell them to keep the network secure for all these years. And then all of a sudden it's not all of a sudden. There was, plenty of time for them to figure it out. But still, like there's gotta be people who are really underwater now on these cards. And
yeah,
I don't know. That was
especially
my
the
newbies. What happens when you piss off your miners, when you like ditch them? I guess it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? It's really sad. I don't know. It didn't matter yet.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's going to be like an ETH miner retaliation, and who knows, man? Like, I think this merge will help with adoption. I know, like, the ESG folks, they're very forward with proof of stake, even though I really don't think like proof of work, this is straight up FUD, like this whole energy thing, and this has been debunked so many times that I'm surprised that ETH even like chose to go this route, even though they've been saying this for years. So I'm not surprised. It's like a 50-50, you know what I mean? Like I'm expecting it, but at the same time, like it's FUD.
Well,
but it'll help with adoption. So was it worth the adoption?
It's such fun. Because like, think of it this way. All right. Ethereum just overnight all of a sudden isn't mining, right? And people are celebrating and saying, oh, that's like all this like energy or power or whatever, like environment. I'm all about environmental, like I'm all about taking care of the environment.
Yes.
But proof of work is not the environment's threat right now.
Not at all.
They say, oh, all this power, they're not mining anymore. Great. That's really not how it works. Like what happens is that's just going somewhere else. It didn't solve, it's not solving this problem. It's just the power's going elsewhere. It isn't, I don't know. I don't know. It's just silly to me how crazy of a concept it is. Like from creation to delivery, I believe it's 66% of power is lost that we create in the world, in the entire world. Let's say we create 100,000 power units, right? Only like 30 of them actually make it to your outlet or whatever, to its actual use. We have way bigger problems than something that takes up like 0.1% of the energy in the world. And
I don't even think it's that much.
It's probably not.
It's not. I want to say it's not. Guys, who am I? But at the same time, I don't believe that. I really think if it was that much energy, there would have been a much bigger, stink over it than what's been going on now. But then at the same time, like, where are the numbers coming from? Like, you just don't know. I question everything.
I wanted to write a big article. I wanted to write a big article on it.
In the Zesty Tom newsletter.
Yeah, in the Zesty Tom newsletter, and coming soon, the Zesty Tom blog.
Oh,
coming soon. TM.
Oh,
dropping it very soon.
Let's get it.
I looked into it, right? Because like you're right, we hear this like what is clearly FUD put out by who knows what party. For some reason, Greenpeace. I wrote a little tweet today about my non-happiness about that. About Greenpeace putting out like proof of work is destroying the environment. That's such a stupid, like it's just like an obviously wrong claim. So I looked into it over the last like week or two, and guess what's really easy to find? You type into Google, how much power does Bitcoin mining take, boom, it's like, it's not even a search result. It's just like at the top, right underneath, you know how it has like those auto kind of answer things?
Yes.
Boom, right there's a number, and it's a big scary number. If you go and then you say, okay, well, how much power does video games take any, like, you know, process or whatever, use in a year? Then it becomes all of a sudden very difficult. It's not a flat answer. You look through the links, and there are all these like .orgs, and the answers are really convoluted and weird. Like the answer that came up first was, this is how many PC gaming rigs there are and how much energy they take. But that's not the total consumption of energy in gaming, like by any means. Like I have a gaming computer technically for streaming.
Yes.
I don't really use it for gaming. So like, but then I also have gamed on computers that aren't gaming computers. So that wouldn't be included. But then that's not even including the massive other side of the equation, which is like the data centers that are hosting these games. Like it's really telling to me how easy it is to find that answer for Bitcoin, but then really difficult. And if someone out there is like a pro expert, please slide into the DMs. I want this info. Really difficult to figure out like how much energy the world creates, how much goes to each sector. These numbers are very weirdly different, and they convolute it with like different units. Like Bitcoin is quoted in billion kilowatt hours maybe, and then energy production is in like terawatt. And I know I'm an ignorant American here, but like even that conversion is just like skewing of like what is actually happening, and it's not easy to find out. So I hope we have like a power expert out there. I would love to like hear what they have to say. But from what I've seen, it seems very obviously, I don't know, distorted. To make it look bad.
I agree. I think, you know, I had, you know, Blood on the show. I've had a few on the show where we were just talking about kind of how the media can skew things one way or another, and actually just put like straight up disinformation, just like, oh, like, you know, maybe they didn't mean it, whatever it may be, but the numbers are wrong. And you could look at that from every which way, especially like if you look at like the energy problem, or, you know, how Bitcoin is used by criminals. You could see from, you know, reputable news sources that all of the X% of Bitcoin is used for illicit activities, when straight up we know that's not true. I don't know. This is like the most transparent thing out there. You could see like, you know, Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy. If you guys actually find I actually think that got taken down. My interview with Jason Williams back in the day was one of my first shows, and we were talking about like how Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy. He's like 100%. How he was using tires and things like that to, you know, mine Bitcoin, something absolutely crazy. But it was just something that I was just like, wow, like more people need to hear an example like that. It's insane. It gets me sad a lot of the time, where we're sad, hearing all this FUD.
That's definitely a problem in the entire world right now. How do we sort information? There's so much information coming from every direction.
No matter what the subject is.
No matter what it is. How do we figure out if it's true, if it's not true, if it's, you know, skewed bias towards like something specifically? It's like we only have more data coming. And I think that that's part of where Bitcoin and cryptocurrency fits in the future. Is data is basically just energy, and energy is the focus of, in my opinion, everything in the future is focused towards energy and the production of energy and the capacity to store it. And what Bitcoin proof of work does. So it's like Litecoin and Dogecoin now. By the way, now Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin are the top 3 proof of work chains now, because Ethereum has bowed out. I like that statistic.
I thought that was cool.
I like that. It's a fun rhetoric. Like those things are they're, in my opinion, are going to be the main drivers of energy. The bigger they get, the more they're going to drive energy, because it's not that they just want energy flat out. It's they want the cheapest energy. So what that means is the second energy bumps, meaning like we need it for production, we need it for our homes. The second it bumps up in cost, miners tweak down. And this is all like algorithmically done. It's done like in real time.
Automatic.
And Texas is a great example. Texas had issues with their power grid. That's not a surprise for the last 2 years. And Bitcoin miners are able to turn off at a moment's notice. And they do so even automatically in many cases. And so what it does is it supplements the energy. and I talked about energy goes to waste. Some of that is, well, a lot of that is just science that I don't quite understand, but
Yeah.
Production is variable. And the more variable the demand is or the consumption, the more variable the production is, which makes it less efficient. And so what mining does is it can smooth out that curve, and it can take that energy when other people don't need it, and it can stop taking it when people do need it. And that's a net win. That'll be
It
a net win.
is. It is. And
Absolutely.
the fact that like this was just like kind of like built in Satoshi's little, throw in is beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Satoshi. And you know what this whole argument reminds me of? Like, it reminds me of like, like all this climate stuff, the illicit activity. It's just straight up fun. And I think, it's just like, when is it going to end? I don't know. It frustrates
Maybe
me.
never.
But, because, I think it's just going to be used until it can't be used anymore. Like, you know what I mean? I was talking about this on Around the Blockchain last night. It's something I really got into it. Like, I was just like, come on, man. Like, it's so not even worth the time. I'm over it.
It's what it is the energy fund is such an easy thing for someone to regurgitate that doesn't know anything.
Exactly.
And it's such a difficult thing for someone who has lots of insight on the topic to explain. And so it's really weighted in that way of like, the making an argument versus proving it false is like it takes way more time and way more effort to like prove it false than it does to just say it. And that is a symptom of like 2020, right? Is like statements that are obviously wrong, but are way harder to explain why it's wrong than it is to just say something incorrect.
I mean, just look at like, the ATMs, all the banks, like what kind of energy are they using versus proof of work? Like, why don't we focus on that? Like, how much of energy does the money printer, use going burr?
I couldn't find that either. Like, it's really hard to find this data.
See,
but
and
what
why
I did
can't you find it?
I don't know. But what I did find is, and so this isn't necessarily just like printing money, obviously, but the paper industry. So just paper is if like we use those units of, I think it was like 180,000 units of energy in the world globally we made. It's like 100 of them are on the like used for like the Bitcoin proof of work network. And then it was paper was like 2,200. So it's like 22 times energy just for paper. I'm sure we use paper for many applications around the world still. I personally don't use any paper. Like, I don't
barely
use like a printer. I don't really write things down on paper anymore. I get like books and things, and like, but it just puts it into perspective. That isn't just printing money, but printing money is part of that. And that industry is way bigger, like 10 times magnitudes bigger. It's all about perspective, and perspective is rare. I feel it's rare these days.
Yeah, and it's crazy the amount of FUD that's coming out now. And then I heard about this program that's going to come out called Fed Now. So I think CBDCs are coming in quick, and it's just
literally today.
Yeah, I heard about this like a week ago.
Well, today
I saw
they
some
had
docs.
a new thing, but Fed Now, it was like maybe 2 weeks ago. I think that's like when they like kind of launched it publicly, or
I'm
said
scared.
they were going to do it. But they said there was something today. I tweeted about it. I don't have the article in front of me, but it was talking about sanctioning. No, that was yesterday. It was talking about sanctioning wallets of certain groups of people. But then, man, today there was even something. What did I tweet too much? I forget all my tweets. I don't want to look it up. But there was something today about that. Literally. Wait, where are you? Where are you?
I don't know. I'm just saying,
the government published the first ever crypto framework. That's
yes,
what it was.
I saw
Boom.
that. I started to read that.
Think about the timing.
Yeah.
Think about the timing of
with
all
the
this
merge
stuff.
and
It's within 24 hours. The grave the body isn't even cold.
And I saw on CNBC that like Charles Schwab, like all those people are actually investing in a new exchange called the EDX or something. If I'm getting that correctly, you guys could Google it. So all the top little beans up there, they're now creating an exchange. So it's like the top investors, and a lot of them that said, Bitcoin is never going to make it, all that stuff. Now the big boys, they're like, all right, guys, now we're going to hop on the bandwagon. We're going to create our own exchange. And, whether to take this as and this is all within the last 2 days. that all this news came out. So, I don't know if there's any, alignment there, if maybe this is all coinky dink, but, I just think that there's a lot going on, and that maybe, this is bullish just because they're all entering now maybe, the everyone will be more accepting of blockchain, accepting of crypto, and that way we could all just run free and, do our crypto thing. I don't know how to take this,
It's just, I can't get over how suspicious it is, man.
I don't know. I'm a little
Ethereum
scared.
merge, and then boom, within 12 hours, they're like all of a sudden taking these actions. And then the next day, like within 24 hours, now they're openly talking about a CBDC or digital dollar. It's, I don't know, reading
scary.
between the lines. Like,
I don't like it.
It seems planned to me. It seems like that is intentional, maybe. We'll see how it goes. But I will say, even as someone who thinks, Bitcoin is unregulatable, I do think regulation is inevitable. It's not as if, we were going to have this thing grow forever and then governments never notice it. That's a silly dream. I think where it comes down to is, do the things you support, and so I'll just say, like, I'm a proof of work, I'm a decentralized maximalist, I like my Bitcoin, Litecoin, Doge, but do the things that you invest in, the things you believe in this space, are they resistant to regulation? Are they resistant to control? And that hopefully that means that discussion and the value of that is going to come up in the future, because I think most people don't know that. I don't know, out of the 10,000 projects that were made in the last 2 years, like how many of them were actually decentralized? And the answer is virtually none. Virtually none were like actually decentralized. Most of them are just tokens on a chain that are like Shiba Inu. Sorry, Shiba Inu fans out there, but someone just created Shiba Inu, like created billions, trillions of coins, and it became a cryptocurrency. But by no means was it decentralized. People kind of don't notice that, maybe, or aren't aware of that. And things like that are going to be much more subject to regulation because they have a single point of failure. They go after that guy. They go after whoever made it. They go after, whoever.
Yeah. Wow. It's really crazy. It's a whole other rabbit hole, to be honest. It's just like, it's a little scary, but I think, as always, we're all going to make it. Bitcoin, crypto, it's all inevitable. And I think, if they do try to push a CBDC on us, that, people will kind of see into it and be like, okay, this is not what I want. People really don't have the control they want over their funds right now as it is. So I think, people are pushing towards something where they have more accessibility. And I think if something like this is presented in front of them, that they're going to be like, okay, digital currency, what is the next thing? Like, what can I look into next that is going to help me escape this stuff and choose something different? Exactly. Lisa just said in the chat, we can choose our own path. And I think people are going to choose the Bitcoin path, the crypto path.
That's what makes us special.
I have faith in people.
You and me. That's what makes us special. Is I think we're some of like the only people in the space. Like, we have our own opinions, but I am all about that too. It's like, why would I try to enforce what I believe on others? Like, I'll share with you what I believe, but like, I'm not going to hate you because you choose a different path. That's what this is all about.
Yes.
Just having another option. We never had another option. You could say like bartering or something, sure, but like, we never had a way to decouple from a very centralized, national currency. Now we do. The whole point is to have choice and to not be, forced into one decision. In my opinion, the ones that win are going, like, I have a vision of like what the winners in this space are going to be. And I think everyone else's vision of that's a little different, but it's really going to come down to what can survive. What is resilient.
Yes. And Lisa says it again, great in the chat. There's no freedom if you don't respect others' choices too. Like, we have to be able to talk to one another. And if you guys were in the Twitter spaces with me earlier today, I was in quite the spicy Twitter space where, people that were Bitcoin only started, coming at people that weren't Bitcoin only. And then people that weren't Bitcoin only started coming at the Bitcoin only person. And I was like, guys, like, we can't be doing this. We have to like respect one another. Don't call each other a scammer. Like, that's not the way it works. Like, just because you like ETH doesn't make you a scammer.
No.
Just because you're Bitcoin only doesn't mean you're a scammer. Like, drop all that BS. Like, that's not worth it.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know. I'm not a fan of
that's
that.
so silly.
I
That's so
I think
silly.
it's super silly, especially when we are facing this, point on, the CBDCs, the scary things that are coming through, Tom. We can't be battling each other over proof of work or proof of stake, what's better or not. Like, that's not the issue right now. The issue is
Time
the
will decide.
revolution and what we're doing here. And, speaking of what we're doing here, Tom, you've been doing great work with your newsletter, which you could sign up for that on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Review,
I'm
yeah.
gonna drop your Twitter again in the
Oh, thank
description
you.
of the video for you guys afterwards. You guys could go watch everything on Tom's YouTube channel and his Twitter. I put the links over there. But Tom, what is happening with the charts lately? With all of this news, all of this action, especially the last 2 days, but we're hearing about like the Fed Now program and things like that. Have you seen anything on the charts?
So the charts, yeah, obviously were pretty boring on into the merge or at the merge, and today a little bit more spicy. I can share some charts with you. I was enjoying the banter, but I can share some hopium and some doomium if that's what the people want.
I think we need a little bit of charts, just a little bit, and then we'll banter. We'll banter some more.
Because I'm the one on the show. I'm starting with hopium. I make that choice.
Yay!
I was on actually BitBoy's AM show and actually shared this on my stream yesterday. So this is like the
you were
last
on this
piece
morning.
Of hopium. Yesterday.
And I didn't know about it. Damn. Okay, my bad.
It's okay.
I should have been there.
It was early. This is like the last piece of hopium that I have, but luckily it's a really good one. So this is the total crypto market cap on the weekly time frame. And what is really hopium about it is this is 2018's high. We had our long bear market. 2018's high was about $761 billion. That was for the total. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, you name it. It's all included there. We broke through that, and everyone really knows what happened after, say, 2022 started-ish, right about the end of 2021. We fell for a very long time, and if we really take a look, we can see that this is little hopium-ish, is the low in June, May-June, really is a perfect backtest of that previous high. And since that time, we have not gone lower. We haven't even really come back to that level for a total crypto market cap representing everything. And so at the moment, from a technical level, this chart looks actually really solid. That doesn't guarantee that the bottom is in and that we're done with the bear market or something. This could play out very boringly for a very long time. I don't think that'll happen, but that could happen. But from a technical perspective, this is a classic resistance turned to support. Until that breaks, we still have that in play. And that's some real hopium. That could suggest that this is or was the bottom. Doesn't mean anything specific for any, doesn't mean Bitcoin won't go lower. Doesn't mean Ethereum can't go lower. But it does show us that, there was buying interest here and that crypto didn't want to go below $761 billion as a total market cap. As long as that remains true, there's hopium in play. If that breaks, things look pretty crappy again. But overall, I like this. This is one of my favorite things to be looking at, and I recommend everyone out there keep an eye on total. It's normally a pretty easy thing to keep an eye on. Lots of sites track it. Some doomium, the little doomium is everything looks pretty bad right now. And this isn't just crypto. This is really expanding way farther.
This is gold?
Crypto. This is gold.
Oh my gosh.
I messaged Team Crypto, I don't know, a week or two ago, and I was a little freaked out, and I was like, oh my God, gold might break and the dollar's going nuts. And that was at the start of September. And things chilled out a little bit. However, yesterday they unchilled. This is gold. So this is a 10-year time span.
Wow.
Gold went a little bit higher in 2021 and 2022 than it did in 2011. And what makes me a little doomium here is we had a pretty clear support level for gold, and that was about 1670. And in the last, the last day? Is that the last day? Yes, the last day, yesterday, gold broke below that level, setting like a 2-year low.
Wow.
It hasn't gotten slaughtered. It didn't fall straight down, as I wouldn't expect gold to. But this is very bad. This is not a good thing. Many countries, their assets are in gold or whatever. This represents a huge amount of money globally, and its selling off is not really good for anyone, in my opinion, especially when you look then at the dollar. the dollar didn't really move, which is a very strange surprise to me. The dollar didn't really move. This is on the day, just like we looked at gold. Dollar really just kind of sat where it was while gold broke its low. To me, this is confusing.
Yeah.
Because we've been seeing the dollar on a ripper, gold dropped. The dollar going up would be the logical thing. Where did the value go? And the answer is a little unclear. The dollar is still strong. We don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it topped out, but I don't think that is. I don't think that's the case, or we won't really know that, I think, until the end of this month, depending on what the Fed says on the 21st. Dollar's ripping, and that really spells pain for everything. When the dollar goes up, everything else goes down. I mean, it's a logical trait. If your dollars can purchase more, the cost of things should be less because each dollar can buy more of whatever it is. None of this is a good scenario, in my opinion. And this really is not, again, about crypto. This is outside of crypto. It's bigger. It's kind of global, kind of a global thing, not really even just a crypto thing. None of this is good because everything is selling and the dollar is going up, but the dollar is at record high inflation.
Yeah.
And so where does money go? Where do we put money? And so, I mean, dollar going up, so dollars, right? But we know that that's a guaranteed loss. So what makes me uncomfortable is that capital doesn't really have a place to go. And I am no macroeconomic, traditional stock market expert. That's not my thing. I do obviously have probably more knowledge than the average person, and I do watch the charts. But when there's nowhere to put money, what does that mean? What does that mean for the future? And it kind of suggests maybe a future where everyone gets wrecked. Like, what do we do? I don't know. Certainly yield on bonds has gone up, but I don't think that's really a good sign either, as the 2 and 10 year are inverted. The whole economic scene right now kind of seems on its head. And I guess using what I do know, I think really the resolution to this is something breaks, right? Something bursts, whether that's the dollar or gold, as we just saw, broke a pretty major level. We haven't seen that. It's pretty unexpected, actually. People are just railing on about, Bitcoin is an inflation hedge, right? And people are just using that as a really easy way to rail on Bitcoin. Well, look at gold. Gold just broke a multi-year low with record high inflation. So
alpha.
You can't make fun of Bitcoin for this and then ignore the fact that gold did too. It's a greater problem. Everything's positioned where it seems like nothing is a hedge for inflation, which pretty much means that all that matters is what? The printers. And that is, printing is a one-way spiral. It's a one-way street. Once you start printing, you just print more. That's what we've seen in human history.
Insane.
Regardless of what's going on tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. Things are going to get real weird. I think I can give a little positive note, though, to all this doomium is I'm pretty happy with where my money's at right now. Like, if everything's going to kind of crap itself, I imagine that when it craps itself, crypto will bounce harder and faster and go higher than whatever else my money would be in at the time.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I think Oh no, Y2K. I don't know why my brain did that. Oh no, Y2K. It goes in the chat and he goes, it's all broken. Absolutely.
It's all broken.
The money printer is broken because it won't stop printing. It's you know what I mean? It won't stop. It won't stop. That freaking money printer. I'm so over it. I've been over this money printer for years. Even before the pandemic, I was telling my family, oh my gosh, I got so much heat, Tom. It was around when I first started creating videos in front of my family because I was using my aunt's backyard at one point. Oh my God, I got so much heat. They were like, oh no, everything's fine. And I was like, what do you mean? We're printing too much money. And they were like, no. They were like,
no, we're not.
They're like, no, that's the cost of living. That's what, needs to happen. I was like, what? I was like, that's not how inflation works. This is not good, guys.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a year later, because the stimulus checks were going out, they're like, oh, we're printing too much money. I'm like, oh, really? That's why we need Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. Come on.
people don't really remember. We all forgot about it because we got tied up with Lambos. But this is why the cypherpunks created Bitcoin. This right here that we're seeing right now, where monetary policy gets out of hand, as it does every time in history. And I don't think anyone ever made the claim that it would be all rainbows and sunshine when it happens, or that it would, only up was the answer. But like, this is literally the scenario that it was created for. So we're going to find out over the next few years what that looks like and how it moves. And I don't know. I think I'm on the right side of this. And even if that is uncomfortable for a while, I have very little doubt about it.
When I'm thinking about life, and industries as we have them now, how we have the Wall Street bros that are on top. We have, the doctors that are on top. I think in a few years, the crypto bros are going to be on top if we're not already seeing that, right? I've talked to CZ Binance on the show. He literally, is self-made, worked at McDonald's. Michael Saylor has worked at McDonald's. Sam Bankman-Fried killing the game. Now he's giving, he's the billionaire giving billions back. I think these are the type of people, just people in crypto that are going to be at the top, that have the most beans at the end of the day. Like the most cash.
So what you're saying is I need to really quick get a job at McDonald's, just so down the road I can be like, I worked at McDonald's.
No, but you're self-made.
Yeah, but I didn't work at McDonald's.
Yeah, but you're still self-made. You know what I mean? That was my point. That was my point. I don't know if Sam worked at McDonald's, but it was just a point I was trying to make. You know what I mean? These people are all self-made. You're self-made. I'm trying to self-make. You know what I mean? And I think the people that are in crypto, the people that are really building here, the people that are going to be on top, and whoever has the money has the power. So I think that, we're going to have a lot of power to be able to push blockchain, especially, we see the bigger players getting into blockchain. Why wouldn't it make sense for, obviously crypto to appreciate in value, and then the people that have been here from the start gain some monetary power here and start to make change?
I mean, I've seen it in my life. I certainly, I definitely look up to people like CZ and Sam and Sailor, anyone, all these people who are even more, OG than I am, because wow, they made some crazy choices that worked out really well. But I see it in my own life, even outside of streaming, from when I started in crypto, I was the poor friend. I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh, but my friends made more money than me throughout my whole young adult life. And through investing in crypto, somehow that's reversed. Somehow it just being in the space. So I think I can attribute obviously some of that to streaming too, but the roles have changed over the last 4, 5, 6 years. And I think in the, 4, 5, 6 more years, that's going to have a whole nother wave of that, a whole nother kind of magnitude. And so I've seen that in my own life, that crypto, it does close some gaps in kind of the income or wealth disparity. I think it's going to continue to do that. People like to say it's you're not going to get rich with Bitcoin anymore. You have to take big risks or something. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
No,
I think it's everyone wants to get rich quick, and that's not what anything is. There really isn't a get rich quick. There just isn't. Yeah, there's one way, and that's maybe win the lottery.
Even then, they're going to take 40% of that, and it's just what are you really left with?
Not so successful, right?
No, because they spend all the monies. They spend all the money.
There is no get rich quick. You have to slowly build over time, and you're just outpacing others. That's what get rich quick is slowly outpace everyone else. And in my opinion, the way to do it is to build something like you and I are building, built our channels and our presence and our brand, and invest in the things that you think the future needs. And that might be different from what I see, but I think the future needs energy. I think the future needs energy capacity. It needs, we need production, really computers processing, which is essentially the yin to the yang of energy. In the US healthcare, boom. Those are my 3 things. If I ever run for office, those are my 3 running points: energy, computing, healthcare, done. Everything else I'll ignore. Don't care.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of more important things to focus on in this world rather than Bitcoin and like what's going on with that. I don't know. I feel like we have a lot more problems to solve, and one of them is eggs. I was discussing this last night, and listen to this, okay? Like I was really breaking this down on stream when I was playing Supremacy last night. I think we have an egg problem, and I don't know if you have the same experience because I know you're kind of like you have lived that like you have like that farmish life going on, but you know, I think there's an issue with eggs, and reason being is that here in New York, I go to the grocery store, there's regular size eggs, large eggs, extra large eggs, perfectly sized, perfectly white, nothing wrong with them. They're perfect, which I think is an issue. And over the summer, I think it was like, last spring or something like that. I went like Queen Lisa. I don't know if she's still in the chat. She came to Jersey. She did a meetup, and her mom packed up some eggs because they actually have some chickens, right? And they gave us a dozen eggs, and all of them were different shapes. All of them were different sizes. And they tasted heavy. They were like kind of heavier, more dense, and they tasted really good.
They taste so much better.
They tasted and they actually looked a little orange.
And eggs are not white out the chicken. I can tell you that.
No, and then when you crack them, like when you scramble them, you go in the bowl. They look more orange than like the ones I would buy at the supermarket. The ones at the supermarket here are kind of yellow. So I don't know if you guys see that, but do you have like these perfectly white eggs in your supermarket, or do you have like your own chicken, or like you find like organic real eggs somewhere else? I don't know. Are they fake eggs? What am I eating?
They are. Well, it's like everything. We waste so much. Those are they wash them, they bleach them. I'm no egg expert, but I do know that's not what eggs look like. But we do the same with produce and vegetables, like misshaped apples. They don't sell them, but apples aren't perfectly shaped like when they grow.
And tomatoes.
We waste so much. We waste so much. Ooh, I have a whole bunch of tomatoes in my backyard. They just keep producing. They're so good.
And I don't know what I'm eating. What are these eggs that they're giving us that are perfectly sized and perfectly white with the pink stamp on top? I'm a little worried. Even the brown eggs are perfectly brown and perfectly shaped. How are they all the same? When I got eggs from Nana, and I guess like maybe they were different chickens, but none of them were the same.
They throw them away. They toss them. Like they throw away the ones that can't make look uniform. It's waste. It's waste. And you know what? You're identifying a huge problem in the future that the future does need is waste in general as a topic. How do we deal with it?
I don't know.
How do we have less of it?
But then we have so much waste, yet there are people in the world that are starving. So what is going on? Like, I don't get it. Why?
Because you don't want to eat a weird shaped apple.
I'm leaving. I'm freaking leaving. I don't understand what's going on. Guys, we need to fix the world. And that's why I'm in crypto. Because I really think with crypto, we can fix the world. Where people like Sam Bankman-Fried, that, self-made, now he's a billionaire, helps people all the time. He could go feed people right now. I mean, listen, man, I don't know. I'm not telling him what to do. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I am.
Go feed people, Sam.
I'm not telling him what to do with his portfolio. I'm sorry, bro. But I'm just saying, like, there's people like that are helping other people. And I want to help other people. And I think that's what crypto does, especially countless charities we've seen through crypto and things like that. And I really think, helping feed people, help give people things, energy. Eric Finman, the youngest Bitcoin millionaire, he sent, because he was, got into Bitcoin, he was able to build some capital. He sent a satellite into the sky for this all-girls school. I forgot where it is. I think it was Ghana. Don't quote me on that, but look it up. You could find it. And he literally launched a satellite. Like, people like that are just amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. When I got out of college, I wanted to go into politics, and I realized that to get into politics means you have to have money. Period. And
how is that like,
it makes
chill,
no sense.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, where do you get the capital from? It's hard to accumulate that. Maybe you have to do some things to get that. I just don't understand how all that works. I don't think I want to know how all that works, to be honest.
Most people are born with it. That's the answer, sadly. It's like most people that are very rich were born rich. And so they had the ability to make, to do things, to build. They had the resources to build. For me, that was getting laid off and having unemployment for 6 months. That was my resources to build.
It's that push that you needed.
And we're seeing like through inflation, people's resources are getting eaten away, and that takes agency away from people to be able to make change. That makes the problem worse.
Yeah, it's really hard to come up now.
I hope, and I've experienced in my life, and I hope it continues, that crypto is the tool that empowers people.
I think it is
to be able to change things.
I mean, countless artists, especially, during the NFT boom, one thing that I thought was very beautiful was people being able to put out their collections, put out their art in front of a global audience, and being able to sell those collections out, succeed, and pursue what they want to do in their life. And I think that's so beautiful. I'm so happy that blockchain was able to change people's lives, especially play to earn gaming. I know that helped a bunch of people in, third world countries, that they were playing play to earn games and earning more than they would, just in their regular jobs, which were a few bucks, and now they're able to feed their family. It's so important.
I wonder, because you don't hear about that anymore. Because you did when the bull market was hot. It was like,
and you'll hear it again.
These countries are making money, and of course, when the market's hot, we will. But I wonder, and I wouldn't doubt it. I actually wouldn't doubt it if that's still an outlet for the poorest people in the world. If that's still an outlet for them to make significantly more money.
Listen,
I hope so.
There's games now, a bunch of them that I've been, as I'm jumping in all these discords, I'm learning more and more. And a lot of games, what they have going on now is that if you buy a skin or a weapon, and I'm busy, right? I can't be playing this game all the time, earning all these tokens. What I can do in some games is rent, let's say, my asset, and and I say, okay, you have to make X amount of rewards. I'll keep X percentage, you keep the rest. And I'll just give you this asset to use. So that way you don't have to invest. You don't have to do anything. Just use it, make rewards. I take a percent. That's it. I think that is a crazy cool model for people to get a jump in, get started, and start earning. I just think that there's really no other opportunity out there that's like this.
It's wild. What's wild about it is it's global. It has no border. It has no location, right? That's what I love about crypto also in general. It's the ubiquity of it. You can be anywhere on the planet, and if you have access to power, and obviously you need hardware or whatever, you can do something. You can create value. And we like to talk about income disparity, or I do, and how wildly crap it is in the US. But if you look at the world, it's even way worse. For instance, I want to hire a virtual assistant, right? And I think it's in the Philippines, which is a place I don't really know much about. I wouldn't assume it's the poorest place in the world, but you can hire someone full time with a master's degree. So someone who went to school longer than I did, I can hire them full time for $400 a month.
That's insane.
And to them, that is way more than they can make where they are doing whatever it is.
Wow.
And it's just wild to me. It's just wild. This person went to school for 10 years, has a super specialized degree, and they'll work happily work full time for $400 because it's, maybe twice the rate that they'll get there. And that's the cool thing about these NFT and play to earn game things that I really liked. And I'd be curious to see what's going on with that now. Is that still, even though prices are down, it still might be for the lowest income people, that still might be a really solid outlet or source for them that they wouldn't have otherwise. What's a little to us is perspective. It could be a lot to someone else.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen that a lot, especially through crypto, where people are just, going to other countries. I've kind of been opened up to what money is and how, what I can buy versus, someone in another state comparatively, because, New York compared to other states is absolutely ridiculous. What your purchasing power really does. And especially because I do work with other people internationally, whether that's helping me with my art for my NFTs or, just, my thumbnails, whatever, to help me out. And I see what happens and how money is valued to different people, and it really puts things in perspective. And we should, in the United States, we're spoiled, even though we have a lot of stuff going on comparatively. like we're still doing really good compared to others, and it's unfortunate. And I really think that, you know, again, like bringing it back to our original point, crypto could help these people. Crypto could help everyone, even out this playing field, that we all could participate in this ecosystem. We all can, you know, participate, make a living, do whatever, create things in this ecosystem and really change everything. So I don't know. I'm extremely bullish on the blockchain. I'm bullish on the people here that are creating and how many doors it really opens for other people that really couldn't even have this type of outlet before.
Love it. Love it. We're always on the same page.
Yeah. Wow. This was great. It's almost been an hour. I know we have.
Yeah,
oh, we
I
have.
was like, it's been like an hour. Holy crap.
Obe or OB just dropped a 2. What is this? Is that, which symbol is that? I forgot. I want to say it's the euro, right?
Or euro?
I don't think that's the euro.
Lira.
It looks like the lira. You know, I'm not gonna mess this up.
Oh, it's a pound. I'm stupid.
Is that the pound?
We're ignorant Americans.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the euro, but I know it's not that.
Pound.
The pound. So thank you for your 2 pounds, friends, and your little emote there that says Q, because you're a cool kid. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Tom, for coming on today. I'm going to drop your links again. What links would you like me to drop in the chat that aren't already in the description? I'm going to drop everything in the chat anyways, but...
I don't know.
Where can we find you?
Just YouTube. Tom Crown. Just watch out for the fake accounts.
Yeah, and I put your Twitter. Watch out for both of our fake accounts. They're running rampant right now. The fake Vitalics, the fake CZs. Don't click on them. No one's giving you anything for free. Don't give out your private keys. Don't click links, please. Except for these links because they're safe. But anyway, that was so hypocritical of me to say.
Yeah, right.
Don't click links, but click this
Don't
link.
click links from bots. Which is a hard thing to say.
People that you don't know on Twitter and things. I'm reputable enough. Click that link. Trust me on that. Or type Tom Crown into YouTube.
Verify.
Yeah, we're never getting the check now. No, this was great. Hold on, I'm gonna drop another NFT in the chat for you guys while you're here. But thank you to everyone in the chat that came. There's so many fun people here. It's actually insane. Thank you to everyone that came. Thank you to everyone that's been supporting me lately. I don't know. I'm very emotional lately. I think the bear market's getting to my heart just because I'm sad about, you know, people being sad. And that's why I created this account. And like what I'm doing now is because I hated being sad. And I really wanted to make other people happy and for people to be happy and to get into blockchain and spread this adoption of something beautiful, this whole revolution that's beautiful and just brings people together. Despite, you know, we may see some tribalism sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you to everyone that supports me. Thank you, Tom, for supporting me too and just being there for me. Like, I appreciate you to the fullest extent. And thank you for dropping some alpha today. I really appreciate it. Like, you're so awesome.
My pleasure. It's always great to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you too, fam. Hopefully we're gonna do another one of these shows soon. You're always gonna be a regular, man. I can't imagine, like, you know, like you're always gonna be here for me. I'm always gonna be here for you.
You can do charts.
Oh my gosh, we should do that. And like, I'll just like, we'll say this is not financial advice. Like, I'll just go on the screen, draw some random lines. It'll actually be really fun. Let's do that. I'll draw some random lines. Deal. We should have like, I wish there was a thing where there's like kind of a smart board thing where you could put up your charts and I could just start drawing like chairs and stuff and be like, this is the chaireth, you know, line.
Actually, that would be pretty good. That'd actually be pretty funny. I like that really idea. Funny. We'll figure it out.
All right. Thank you guys in the chat for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, I'm going to say it again. Please like, subscribe, share this stream out with friends so other people could have the zesty, cool vibes. And yeah, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you all. Stay strong. Don't listen to the FUD. We're all going to make it. Again, congratulations to everyone that worked on ETH. That's a part of the ETH ecosystem on the merge. This was a huge move, and I'm happy that everything went well. Have a great weekend, everyone. Happy Friday. And as always, don't forget, you know what I'm going to say? You can say it for me. To stay zesty. Peace.
Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Misty Crypto, spreading crypto without you showing its benefits. To my generation, shout out to all my people, Jesse needs to be included, it's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z, better change the world, so y'all better get ready. Crypto, I'm never I think I lost count.